Hey, so I recently came back from a trip to Denmark and Germany, and man, I came back with some awesome Lego. Let me show you some of the unique, strange, awesome, and cool items that I got while I was there, and I'll also highlight some of the incredibly rare and special items that I was able to get a hold of while I was in Europe. Now, some of them you will recognize, but I guarantee you there'll be some stuff in here that you've never seen before. Let's get stuck into it. Let's start off with something really special. This is a Lego model of a blue whale. Sure, so what? Well, this is extra special because it was designed by legendary Lego designer Mike Psyche. Now, he was a part of the teams that worked on sets like Rivendell, the awesome Lion Knight's Castle, probably my favorite Lego set, and even a set much like the Titanic. So I won this blue whale as a prize for entering a quiz in the LEGO Inside Tour. Mike said that this whale was originally going to appear in the actual Titanic set, but it was actually removed. However, if you look at the Titanic instructions, you can in fact see this whale model is shown, and it's kind of a way of illustrating the scale of the Titanic. And that was the original reason this would have been in the set. Now, Mike was kind enough to give the participants of this quiz this as a prize, and I think this is easily one of the rarest items and coolest items in my collection. I even got him to sign it as well. Yeah, it's just such a unique and cool part of the history of this incredible LEGO Titanic set. While I was in Billund, I also stopped by Lego House, which is just a truly magical place, and I picked up some of the various exclusive sets that are available there, which include the Pull-Along Duck set, a very fun recreation of the early classic wooden Lego toy. I also picked up the Dagny Holm tribute set, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They were actually the first master builder for the Lego group, and this is a fun kind of tribute to that. I love some of the shelving here with these beautiful tiny models behind it there. Just a really cool set and a fun build. I also picked up the Lego House architecture set, and on top of that I picked up the latest of the exclusive sets, which is the Captain Redbeard minifigure tribute set. So cool. I also got some of the exclusive keychains and bricks and the chef minifigure, all sorts of other stuff that is exclusive to Lego House. Oh, and I was also gifted the exclusive Lego House Dinosaurs set during the LEGO Inside Tour. Of course, this is a recreation of the beautiful, majestic dinosaurs that are on display at Lego House in the Masterpiece Gallery. That's it for Lego House, but while I was at the Skabeck fan weekend, I got some nice stuff. One of the vendors was selling this brick-built Lego Parrot mock. Now, I bought it because I thought it would go very well with the Redbeard minifigure tribute set, and the two do look fantastic next to each other. The parts to build this came with this sheet of paper, which gave you the location to buy the instructions, so if you want to build this yourself, here's where you can purchase those instructions. It's actually a really nice build, it's worth doing. Now, speaking of the Skabeck fan weekend, this was the exclusive model that was given out to exhibitors at that LEGO event. It's a fun little freebie, and you know, I love a good mini land scale figure. I also picked up these at the fan weekend. These are some very early Lego cars, which barely look like Lego, don't they? But they are in fact Lego. Here's a set that one of these would have come in. So these HO scale cars are just what cars looked like in the early days of Lego sets. And this sort of stuff is just impossible to find in Australia or in America. I've barely ever seen these in person, so seeing so many for sale here in Denmark was just so exciting. I had to grab some, and these just look so cool. I love obscure Lego like this. One vendor had some of these 2x4 test bricks for very cheap at the fan weekend. You can see these are test bricks because of the C on the studs. Now, what the C means isn't really known. That's more of an internal testing thing within Lego, but they're super cool. I also got these milky white bricks. Now, this color here is a non-production color. To my knowledge, this is what raw ABS plastic looks like when no color has been injected into it. So some really cool non-production parts that were surprisingly very cheap. Now, this one here was not very cheap. It was actually one of the more expensive purchases that I did. This is possibly one of the coolest bricks I own now, though. So this is just a stunning marbled brick that I bought off of a collector at the Skabeck fan weekend. Now, this has a few different marbled colors running through it, and this is normally the result of leftover colors left in the molding machines, and then when they put the next color in, a little bit of the previous color seeps in. So this is a more extreme case of that. But also some of these have been known to be people like working the night shift or whatever, and they just shove a bunch of colors together and get a cool result. It's not specifically known what this one is. There's not really any way of telling that, I guess. But it's either one of those things. And what makes this even more cool, this is extra special because this is the old style of Lego brick that doesn't have the tubes on the bottom. And you can also see, of course, it has the slots on the side there. So this is very old and, of course, very hard to find. Just such a gorgeous piece of Lego history. Now, during the AFOL day at Lego House, which is the first day of the fan weekend, I bought some of the exclusive minifigures that were available on the minifigure printing machines. Now, these are just some lovely keepsakes. As you can see as well, I also got some of the printed minifigures from the printing machine in the German Lego store as well. Now, I do my best to buy these whenever I go to a Lego store that has one of these printing machines. So yeah, this was just a nice addition to help my growing collection of these things. I actually went to the Copenhagen Lego store and unfortunately didn't have time to print one there, but I'll be back. I'll make sure I can get one of those in the future. Speaking of Germany, I did visit the Legoland in Germany and I got an insane pick-a-brick haul, which is easily one of the largest I've ever bought, but I'm going to share that in a separate video, so stay tuned for that one. Now, while I was there, I won this cute parrot plush. Actually, that's a lie. I won that at the Billund Legoland, but we'll group it in here anyway. Still, this is so adorable and so cool. Potentially my best purchase out of everything I got. I also bought this Legoland stuffed bear. This was at the German Legoland. And I bought this because I kind of want to build something like Simon did here with his mock Commander Carrot's exosuit, which uses an old Duplo stuffed red rabbit, which is a very, very cool, weird Lego piece. And I thought, hey, maybe I could do something similar with one of these more modern Legoland bears. So maybe down the line, I could do something like that with this. I did get a few cups of pick-a-brick while I was in Denmark as well. I got a bunch of these brilliant brown stem pieces. Now, back home in Australia, these were on the pick-a-brick wall for like 20 minutes and then they all sold out and never returned. So it was lovely to see so many readily available at the Lego House pick-a-brick and a bunch of the other ones that I visited too. I enjoy using stem pieces on my own mocks. I mean, here you can see some of these larger dark brown stem pieces, but having these smaller ones in brown, oh, that's going to be invaluable for future mocks that I build. So very excited to use those. You can see I also got a few of these light bluish grey tiny ladder pieces, which could be good for future greebles or details that would work well on a Star Wars base, much like on this mock here. And then I got a few handfuls of other different interesting pieces there as well. Another cup that I got has more plant pieces and a bunch of these sand blue 1x1 tiles. I love using tiles on mocks, especially 1x1 tiles too. Like you can see on this bathroom here, they make for just wonderful little details. Whether it's how I use them as like clothing in this basket here for laundry, or of course the beautiful floor tile in the bathroom there. There's plenty of wonderful ways you can use it, and having so many of these in sand blue, it means I could do some awesome floor design or cool wall tiles or whatever. There's a lot of possibilities with this. It's great to have so many. Now, one of the unexpected highlights of Denmark are the op shops. There's so much for sale that is Lego there, and you can find so many unexpected gems. For example, I bought a bunch of these ABS granules. Now, these granules are used to make Lego bricks. They're superheated and they come out as a kind of like toothpaste-like paste, which is then injected into the molding machines, and then it becomes a Lego brick. I still have no idea how these ended up at this charity shop, or op shop, whatever you want to call them, but it was an absolutely insane find, and they just look so pretty as well. I saw similar granules like this in the Lego factory in Legoland, Germany. They look pretty much identical. Plus, during the inside tour, they actually gave me some of these granules in a little Lego chest, and again, they look basically the same, so these certainly seem legit. So cool to find those. Here's another random bag of pieces I picked up at an op shop for decently cheap. It piqued my interest because it came with this awesome sealed Team Great Britain Olympics minifigure inside it. And all the other parts that came with it, pretty decent as well. It was a nice little purchase. I also picked up a bunch of Scala dolls. Now, this is in fact Lego, even though it doesn't look like it. I've always wanted some Scala stuff. You know, the figures that come with it, they all come with these weird pieces of clothing and cloth that would look really nice on some Bionicle mocks. So definitely got them for that purpose. And now if you still don't believe me, here's an actual picture of what a Scala set actually looks like. It's definitely Lego. I also got some of these Duplo dolls, which again have cloth pieces on them that are all official Lego pieces, and you know, they could be pretty helpful for your construction and your Bionicle mocks. Although the dolls are a little bit creepy, let's be honest. Speaking of old, strange Lego, I also found some Belleville sets. More weird and wacky cloth came in these guys as well. Very, very excited to play with that sort of stuff. And now a lot of these Belleville sets came with some other unique pieces. Odd shapes, unique sizes, cool colors. There's just so many strange and unique things in these sets, and I think that's the sort of stuff that actually gives me a lot of inspiration. So buying all this crazy wacky stuff, it's got those creative juices flowing. It's really cool. I managed to pick up some Clickets, which I've always wanted to have some in my collection. Finally, I do. These are in fact Lego. It's basically a sort of precursor to Lego Dots. I love some of the unique shapes and strange looking pieces in this. So cool. There wasn't much, but I did find some Bionicle and a little bit of Hero Factory as well. I found Alec. He was missing some parts and actually came with a few pieces that he shouldn't have, but hey, he was like $2, so I was very happy with that. And I also got some pieces from an Invasion from Below Hero Factory set, which is also incredibly cheap. Ecstatic that I was able to find some of that. Powering through some more, I also found these at some charity shops. It includes the Lego set Ramsey's Pyramid. Those old board game sets, they're always really fun, and they've got a lot of nice pieces in them too, so I'm probably going to take that apart and use it for mocks. I also got Hulk's Smash Lab, which is a really underrated set that comes with some just wonderful minifigures. Also picked up this at a charity shop, which was a nice little find. It comes with some good basic bricks, but you do get one of the coolest parts, which is this 2x4 chrome gold brick. So pretty. Here it is amongst a few other chrome pieces that I managed to find at some op shops, which I wish Lego still made chrome pieces. It's one of my favorite colors, so I'm overjoyed that I was able to find some of those. So some of those chrome pieces I found at an insane store called Flo Grinstead, something like that. Danish words were very hard to pronounce, but this shop was just mind-blowingly cool. There was so much Lego for sale, and a lot of it was obscure, weird stuff too. If you go to Denmark, go here. It's one of the coolest stores. Now, one of the strange and beautiful things I found here was a ton of Modulex. If you're not familiar with Modulex, it's a variation of Lego bricks that were designed for professional architectural modeling. It was made in the 60s, and it was an official Lego product, and then it wasn't, and then they stopped making it. You can either find it with the Lego logo on the bricks or the Modulex M on the bricks instead. Now, these bricks are actually surprisingly tiny. Here it is up against an actual minifigure to show you the scale of it, and it's cool because they very much look like Lego bricks in the scale of a minifigure, so if you want your minifigures playing with bricks, this is kind of a good way of doing that. But yeah, I got a ton of Modulex, and man, I've always wanted some. I'm so keen to play with these and incorporate them into other system brick-built models and stuff. It's all so exciting. Oh, and I actually walked past the old Modulex factory while I was in Billund as well. Modulex is now its own company. It's separate from Lego. They don't make bricks anymore. I think they make like metalwork and steel stuff. It's a very different company now. But still, it was nice to walk past the factory. And actually, shortly after walking past that factory, I had a Lego truck drive right past, which was so cool to see because I was like, oh, I had that set as a kid and there's essentially the real thing. Billund is such a magical place. At Flo, at that same charity shop, I got a big box of Technic pieces. Lots of fantastic parts in here, some cool colors as well, but the best pieces in this were some light grey wheels and these dark red wheel pieces. Now, why are these so special? Well, these pieces came on the old version of the UCS Tantive 4, and they are exclusive to that set. If you look up the price of these pieces, they are not cheap. So a very good find to get in this big box of Technic, but hey, if I ever want to build that rare UCS set, I'm one step closer to doing so. At Flo, I got a nice range of cool looking minifigures for very cheap. Missing a couple pieces on a few of them, but it doesn't matter to me, they look great. I also got some of these nice Lego World figures, which I believe are exclusive to a specific Lego event, and then a wonderful Fabuland friend. I did also pick up the Billund Airport set, which unfortunately you can't get at the Billund Airport anymore, which is a shame, but I got it for a good price off of a mate, so thank you very much. Alright, let's get straight into some of my favorites out of this whole haul now. While staying with a guy that I've featured on this channel many times, Patrick Biggs and his wife Madison, you know, the cool Lego designer now. They were kind enough to give me some awesome Bionicle posters. I adore these. I was also given a Bionicle comic that was signed by Stuart Sager, which is so cool. Thank you so much for that. I also got this cute octopus and a little neon frog from my friend Kat. Thank you so much, Kat. As well as this very unique item. This was given out at the Family Day, which was on while I was in Denmark. Family Day is where Lego employees could show their families around Lego HQ and get a bit of a tour of the facilities and all that sort of stuff. Now, this item is a sort of coin holder, this kind of fake coin that you get with it. It pops out and you're meant to put it in the coin-operated shopping trolleys, the ones that kind of deter theft because you have to put a coin into it, that sort of thing. Yeah, so you're meant to do that. I guess you kind of put it on your keys so you can kind of take it with you and use it the next time you need a shopping cart or a trolley, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's what that is. Now, this actually doesn't have the LEGO logo on it, but it says Family Day 2023. So yeah, this is such a strange LEGO item that is, I guess, a LEGO item. They were handed out there. So it's really cool, and I'm absolutely honored that this was gifted to me. Thank you so much. Also picked up a sealed white Boba Fett figure, a rare one, and one that I'm very happy to put into my collection. I also picked up this San Diego Comic-Con Captain America pin. It's a metallic brooch of sorts that was given out at a somewhat recent San Diego Comic-Con, and I do enjoy getting San Diego Comic-Con exclusives when I can. This was a fairly cheap one to get, but some of the other Comic-Con exclusives, not so cheap. Nice to add that to the collection. Now, one of the rarest pieces that I got would be this molding machine piece that was given to me during the inside tour. These pieces come together and it simulates a LEGO molding machine. It kind of pops in and pops out. You can see that it says 2023 on one side and then inside tour on the other. Now, these were only available during the inside tour, but the same piece was given out at the Family Day event, the one I mentioned before. But that one didn't say inside tour on it. I believe it said Family Day instead, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, there's not many of these that you can get. This is an insanely hard thing to find and an even rarer thing to have. And I just love this so much. Now here's a little collection of the inside tour freebies that I got. I got this minifigure after a tour of the LEGO Ideas house. Here's the minifigure of me with the exclusive inside tour torso. And then I got these two business card figures from LEGO employees, including the minifigure of the current CEO and president of LEGO, who I actually got to meet. Here's a picture of me with him there. Now, LEGO employees used to have minifigures as their business cards with their details on the back. I believe they're discontinuing that now, sadly. But, you know, if you want one of these, the only way to get it is to actually meet one of the LEGO employees. And, you know, meeting the freaking CEO is no easy thing to do. So to be able to get these is awesome. I actually have a little small collection of these already. So having these to be able to add to my collection is, I don't know, I'm just beyond grateful. And I don't even have words for that. It's so, so cool. And by the way, this was the mystery minifigure that I was hinting at before. Okay, last three now, and these are some of my favorite new items in my LEGO collection. These are just so cool. The first is the LEGO Inside Tour Fire Engine set. This is based off one of the old wooden toys that LEGO produced back in the day, and the final product is just beautiful. Now, you can only get this set if you were lucky enough to get into the LEGO Inside Tour, which I'm so grateful that I was able to do. By the way, I'll put a link in the description to info about the LEGO Inside Tour if you're not familiar with it, and I'll also post some info about the Skabeck Fan Weekend too. I don't really have time to go into detail about what those are, but if you want a bit of a further explanation, check the links in the description. Anyway, the best part about this set isn't that I got it signed by Stuart Harris, who is one of the designers who worked on this set, although that is really cool. The best part is that on the back of the box is a picture of the inside tour group that I was a part of, including me in the photo, me in all of my pixelated glory. So it feels cool to finally be on a LEGO set. That's sort of kind of a dream come true. It's just magical. And the set even came with a nice bag too. The next item is this cool spaceship. Now, during the inside tour, we had time to build our own LEGO mock. We were given a brief, which was more or less the idea of design what the next cool LEGO product could be. So I built this Friends spaceship. My idea was that this would be a set that could help AFOLs get into mini dolls and Friends a little bit more, because at the moment, not too many AFOLs love mini dolls, or maybe aren't as big a fan of Friends, although I think Friends is a great theme. So my idea was Stacy Stargazer and her pet frog have their own awesome and very brightly coloured spaceship. And it's also got some cool firing lasers as well. And then I built some targets for you to be able to kind of aim at if you want to shoot them kind of thing. Now, certain creations were given awards by LEGO designers during one of the nights of the Inside Tour, and I was lucky enough to win an award under the category of Best New Idea, which was just mind-blowing and made me so happy. So here's the trophy that I won for winning that award, and this trophy was designed by Mel Caddick, who is a LEGO designer. She's built some of the more recent botanical flower sets, some of the ones that are actually in this trophy, and then of course they were given that black brick-built trophy with the Inside Tour brick at the bottom there, and they sort of built whatever they wanted to around that. So this trophy is just so cool. And it's easily one of my most prized possessions now. And also, they let us keep the model that we built. So being able to take both of these home with me, that's just so rewarding. And both of these have just such a special place in my heart. So man, yeah, the experiences on the LEGO Inside Tour were just pure magic. Oh, and some of the other trophies that were given out were really cool. I didn't get photos of any of them except for this one, which was the award for Best Story. And of course, it was designed with a lot of Bionicle pieces. So you can see a Borak Queen at the top, and some very well designed little mini Borok around the edges. Now, the reason this was built for best story was because they said Bionicle had the best story, and amen to that, of course it did. So there you go, that's my Euro trip haul and some of the rare, wonderful and unique items that I got along the way. Now don't ask me how I got it all home. These 4 bags, 3 of them suitcases, was a lot to deal with, as you can see in this picture here. But like I said before, there were actually quite a few items that I bought here that I haven't shown you, but they'll appear in some future videos, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing some unique items and learning a little bit about some wonderful, rare and obscure pieces. Cheers.